to Lombardi Sweep. You have complained about that before. We're back. So again, every other week during the NFL offseason here, for the most part, we're going to be giving you some Packers news, and then sooner,
D-
gonna come quick. It's gonna be training camp again. It will be every single week, but for right now, we're covering new topics every single week. This week, we're talking about the departing free agents. Just so everyone knows about the NFL calendar, because I feel like it's sneaking up on all of us. Next week's combine,
it always
uh,
does.
th- then free agency
Wait,
starts in
next week's a
less.
combine?
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Holy shit. I
I know it's
completely
fast.
missed that.
Then free agency starts in like 1.5 or 2 weeks after that, and then draft's going to be here before we know it. So the NFL does not stop.
Is
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
is the combine kind of one of those things in the same idea as the dunk contest, where like the luster of it is kind of going away because guys just do pro days now?
It's for sure worse.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think it's almost made worse by the people who show up and then don't participate.
Yeah. What's the point of going? I guess, right?
It's a lot of that. Yeah, it's like they're there to do the interviews, which is cool, and it's fully not their fault. It's 1000% on the media, because it's not our fucking business, and we wouldn't know that they're there not participating for the most part if it's not like, hey, look, I, I assume he's not participating, but let's just say, hey, look, it's Fernando Mendoza. Like, he's here, he's doing interviews, he's talking to media. He's not going to run. He's not going to bench
Yeah.
press. He's not going to do any of that.
For
But
a guy like Mendoza, what's the point of even going?
he's a different
Right.
category. That was a bad example. He
No, no,
shouldn't do anything.
I
But
agree. I understand what you're saying. It's just a question in general.
yeah, we make it a story and then we're mad at the story, essentially,
Right.
is what it is, which
Like
is that's
Giannis.
sports media. Like Giannis. It's true. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. We do stuff to make clicks and then we get mad at it. And if there isn't a story, we create the story. It is what it is. But today we're talking about the Packers departing free agents, and we'll discuss who the Packers can sign, should sign. We'll get into team needs and stuff like that at another time. I'm sure we'll touch on it a little bit. But there is a little bit of not breaking news, but big news, I guess, for the Packers that happened. Time doesn't exist to me. Was that this morning or was that yesterday?
Yesterday. It was around
Yes.
this time yesterday I found out.
Great. Uh, Rich Bisaccia, the coach that everybody thought is the problem in Green Bay and the reason why we're not winning games for some reason, has stepped away. So the special teams coordinator / assistant head coach is no longer with the team. A large section of the fan base is getting exactly what they want. And now the question becomes, what's next? Who's next? What do we do? Because it's not one role that they are filling, it's two roles. One person probably to fill two roles. Whoever we bring in as special teams coordinator, I don't know who the biggest candidates are. Special teams coordinators are a weird breed anyways, but I don't imagine the next person to be an assistant head coach. I don't know if that experience is really out there or that personality is out there and available. So there might be a situation where we promote from within for assistant head coach, somebody to take a little bit more of the leadership position, because Matt LaFleur is not that, obviously. But we shall see what happens. I don't know if Nathaniel Hackett went anywhere. That's somebody I could see becoming an assistant head coach potentially. I don't know who. Maybe not Stenovich. Who's the other guy that we brought back? Who's the new
The
Getsy? Maybe Getsy's an assistant head coach. I'm not sure. No good candidates, but
Yeah, I think right to your point of, you got rid of a special teams coach, but as a larger point, you got rid of a head coach on this team. Um, we talked about this before. I brought this up before. Like, were the Packers special teams? I guess this year was it really that bad? I mean, maybe coverages here and there, but like for like when we did the quotes, I mean, even this is something I agree with Brian Gutekunst on is. McManus was fine for the most part, right? Every kicker misses. It just happened that he missed in the most horrible spot to miss in. He made, 30 in a row before that. And like Keyshawn Nixon's been an awesome returner. That Bisaccia is not really receiving credit for. Daniel Whelan's been an incredible punter. Like again, we're to the point. I mean, we've talked about it since the beginning of the show. Like, maybe it's time to like stop looking at these. So the last four special teams coordinators, right, have been Ron Zook, Sean Slocum, Mo Drayton, and Rich Bisaccia. It's hard for me to believe that an NFL GM and NFL office goes 0 for 4 on special teams coordinators. It's looking in like maybe special teams aren't, as we've been saying, aren't prioritized. You're not putting good players on. I always go back to those awesome New England Patriots teams. Like they had starting linebackers playing special teams. They had starting defensive linemen, offensive linemen playing special teams. That just doesn't exist in Green Bay. But I mean, to your point, Zach, about a head coach. Like if you thought this Packers team has been soft the last 4 years, just like look what's going to happen this year, man.
Well, it goes to the whole political and marketing campaign that I still don't quite understand how well they pull this off. The front office continues to get zero blame for anything. So, we have pointed out how the front office does not sign people to play special teams. They started to do that under Bisaccia because he, pounded the table and said, we got to do that. So hopefully the next special teams coordinator does that as well. But people keep saying special teams is the issue. We keep saying we're losing games because of the special teams coordinator. They're here for 2 years and then we complain and want them fired. How is it always the special teams coordinator getting 1000% of the blame? And to your point, let's just say they went 0 for 4 on coordinators. Let's pretend that's the case.
Yeah.
Maybe someone who should get blamed for hiring them then, right?
Yeah, that or you even, if we're gonna say we lost games on special teams, I mean, you go back to Chicago, you have your wide receiver one in you have the one guy you want fielding an onside kick, you can't field an onside kick. You have
Right.
the blocked field goals. You have your lineman stepping out when everybody who's ever played football knows the only thing you're supposed to do on a field goal is step in and don't let anyone come inside. It's just easy things that football players should know. You shouldn't have to be coached these things.
Well, I don't put the blame on the special teams coordinator for 90% of the special teams issues we have had recently. But even if I'm just playing devil's advocate to say if that's the case, if all these people complaining are correct, then why aren't we blaming the people hiring?
Yeah,
Well,
right.
It's funny too because I mean these are the same people that are like, ah man, the drafts haven't turned out well. Or like Green Bay is a place where we just assume that the smartest people are in the room because we're title town, I guess. But I mean, has that been a thing since Wolf left? Like smartest guys in the room? Really not. I mean, it even goes further than that. Like we let two guys leave and they took two teams to the Super Bowl immediately. So, I mean, if you want to keep what's the term? If you want to keep, solving the symptoms, that's fine. But go to the fucking cause of it if you want to fix all the symptoms. Otherwise, stop complaining about the symptoms. It's that simple.
Yeah, I think in general, and maybe I'm biased just because I live here, but I think Green Bay and maybe even surrounding Wisconsin, even in Michigan, Minnesota, I think there's a lot of influence on how football kind of evolved and how it's played and where guys come from, and you look towards the Midwest spots if you want to build a whatever part of your team, which I truly believe is a thing. And it just doesn't feel like the professional team in Green Bay gets that influence, gets those guys, gets those players. I was talking to someone about this. I compared it to like there's awesome high school basketball in Wisconsin that the Badgers just don't get those players. It's like there's awesome football in Green Bay. Green Bay does not get that awesome football.
Yeah, for whatever reason, we are not. I mean, for forever, and it's still the case. I'm not saying it's not the case, but Wisconsin's identity was sports and was the Green Bay Packers and was the Wisconsin Badgers, and it's just becoming less and less so because of that. We are not a reflection of the community anymore. It's insane
Right.
to think that any athlete who goes D1 doesn't go to Wisconsin and goes to the Packers,
Right.
or isn't wanted by them. Like that used to be the case, no brainer. It's just not even close to that anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, Zach, I think you touched on it too. Like the Badgers, you bring up basketball. Like at least they're in on some of those guys. The Packers have had chances to get these
Yeah.
guys, so at
Yeah.
least give credit. And I'm not saying they're not, but at least we give credit to the Badgers for trying. The Packers aren't even trying. I mean, you have guys falling into your lap, and you're saying, "How about the guy named Vince Beagle who gets hurt all the fucking time?" If I'm not mistaken, that's the guy who they drafted. Like these
Yeah.
guys are there. TJ Edwards was
Yeah.
he third round? TJ
Well,
Watt
it's
dropped in the first round to you. Like you're just choosing not to.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say those like that Badger linebacker core, like that 5 years was incredible, and the Packers got Vince Spiegel. Andrew Van
Yeah,
Ginkel was a first team All Pro last year.
right.
Zach
Yeah.
Bond was a first team All Pro last year.
I mean, when's the last time the Packers have targeted a Badger that was like of anything? Like Cole Van
Jared
Lanen isn't
Jared
bad. He was a
Aberdeeners.
7th rounder. Even
Yeah.
still, he wasn't even brought in
Right.
first. I think he came from. Did he come from Detroit at that point?
Yes.
Yeah.
But to the Badgers are trying for the most part. Badgers are not recruiting Wisconsin offensive linemen though. That's
Yeah,
where I have a
it's an
major
issue.
issue. Major. But yeah, Packers. I don't remember. Like my lifetime, we just don't target Badgers, and that's insane to me. Because even if
No.
it's just to sell jerseys, which seems like something the Packers would love to do, we don't do it. It's so Cole Van Lanen sold so many jerseys, and he sucks. He's doing okay now with the Packers. He was
Yeah.
terrible. I mean, he got a big payday. He's
Yeah.
not a great football player, but he's getting paid like one. So
Yeah.
good for him.
And I mean, we're going to the same position. We're targeting Georgia just because they're good. Georgia's a good team. Their linebackers haven't even laid a finger to the Badgers linebackers, to your point, in the league since really the early 2000s, probably. So
How
why
have
are
we
we
never
going there?
gotten we never got a Badger offensive lineman or running back, and that is mind blowing.
Since probably Tauscher, right?
Yeah. It's incredible. Like
He was
Travis
good
Frederick
too.
should have been he was great. Yeah. Like it makes no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think it's a culture issue within Green Bay. And I think it's a top-down problem, but I digress. It does not matter.
So I
Rich
guess the overall
Bisaccia's out, and now Rich Bisaccia needs to be replaced for 2 positions. I think one person's going to replace special teams coordinator, and I think assistant head coach is a promote from within type of gig.
Well, I don't know. We like guys that can be able to do 2 things at once, so we might just pick one guy for 2 positions. We love doing that.
Maybe
what's
Matt
the
LaFleur should be
overall
assistant head coach.
oh assistant to himself.
Self-scouting, yeah, that's important.
What's the overall gain? And I know that I know what you guys' answers are going to be, that there is no gain. But I would ask this to the people who are so hard on of getting rid of Rich Bisaccia, the same people who are so hard on and getting rid of Mo Drayton and so on and so forth. What's the positive of getting rid of him? Right.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I will say, if you want to be someone who criticizes Bisaccia, first off, everyone criticizing him praised him his first year. I'm not sure how he did a full 180. But I think Rich Bisaccia is the most influential Packers coach since Mike McCarthy. He came in
Yeah.
and completely revitalized how the
Yeah.
Packers do special teams. Like he came in and now we're signing people to play special teams. Will that continue when he's gone now? To be determined, who knows? But the person who comes in to be the special teams coordinator, it needs to be someone experienced, because that's what Bisaccia was. Someone experienced who knows that they have a voice at the table and will pound the table to say, hey, this person can fill this role. Let's go get them. Because in the past, what we have done is, okay, let's build our roster for offense and defense, and the 4-string linebacker can play gunner, can play this. And it's a last resort. It's a, depth fills that, and we're just trying to score points. We're just trying to get on offense and defense again. And that's just not the case. There's 3 phases to the game, and we need to treat it as such. But yeah, I don't know if the Packers special teams is really that bad this year. I think we were mid for the most part. Daniel Wheeling continues to be an outstanding punter, one of the best in the league. Do I credit Bisaccia with that? I don't know. But if we're going to credit him with that, then I guess we got to credit him with McManus's failures. I tend to believe that he doesn't have much influence on either. And then I think our kickoff coverage was pretty good this year, to be honest. In return wise, we didn't have any really big returns that I can remember. And is that a return unit thing, or is it a personnel issue? I tend to believe it's a personnel issue. Who's our returner? Then the onside kick is the thing that people are talking about a lot aside from kicking. And to your point, it's our wide receiver 1 who fumbled the ball. That's not Bisaccia's fault. That's a personnel issue yet again, or it's a random fluke. Whichever one you want to say, it doesn't matter. It's not Bisaccia.
it's legitimately the one player you want in that position is who they
Yes.
put in that position.
Yeah. Who else would you have put there?
Right. But as a whole, like in terms of like people are getting pissed off about like returns and stuff like that, I think if you look at like the whole all 32 teams in the NFL, how many returns were there? Right? I think it's a weird. We're in that transition period too, where it's between
Sure.
this new kickoff. I think there's something. I still think there's something there where people can like run plays and shit. I don't know how that works, but I think there's something there. But
Mhm.
I would say that if that's your point, then 75% of special teams coordinators should be fired in the NFL.
I guess I will say it just was Packers return unit. I mean, they just didn't make plays, and whether it be kickoff or punt returns, usually a team had a game-changing return at some point, right? And I guess I don't remember the Packers having a drastically good or bad return this year. I don't remember fumbles, but I don't remember any breaks. They didn't break anything for a big game
Well,
that I
and
remember.
one on top of that, like going back to Dobbs' fumble, right? If the defense just plays their job
Sure.
and they win that game, it doesn't matter anyways. I mean, we're
Sure,
talking about
yeah.
man lost the fumble, but it's only because we lost the game. No, like it's kind of like how special teams, like people only care about McManus because he missed a few big field goals, right? Nobody cared, to your point, Luke, when he won 30 in a row, right? Nope, nobody said good job, Bisaccia, you got him on the money. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
talk about
Every
the big returns, New England and Seattle, and they have Marcus Jones and Rashid Shaheed, great special
Yeah.
teams players. Like it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, my point. Every kicker misses. It just happened that McManus kicked in the worst possible time.
Yeah, and maybe maybe I'm just misremembering when Crosby went through that fucking horrendous stretch. I don't remember people calling for the special teams coordinator. Maybe
They're
they
calling for
were. I just don't
Crosby.
remember. Right? Yeah, and rightfully so.
Right.
I think the kicker and the punter, if they are shanking it, it's a player issue. It's not a coach issue. Whether it
Shout out.
be the snapper, whether it be the kicker, whatever it is, the coach can only do so much in that regard.
Right. Shout out to Mike McCarthy too, by the way, making Crosby sit there and watch it all and make him go through it. And then Crosby's like perfect the rest of his career.
Yeah, boy, that is trusting your guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And knowing the human, and good for him. I can't say I would have done the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
And it worked for him. So
Yep.
props to him, and the amount of shit that, McCarthy had to have been taking it on the shins day and night.
For sure.
Like battle tested for sure. And maybe that leads to why but again, Basaccia wasn't fired. He stepped away.
Step down.
And we don't know why, and we probably never will find out. But that's an interesting thing because I can only imagine the shit he was hearing and
I
from
have an idea.
everybody in the building, fans and everything. So who knows? I'm not sure.
I have an idea. Maybe it's because he's the old, hard-nosed guy in the team, and we continue to have like the youngest and like fuck the young
Yeah.
guys. Like give me some guys that I can work with.
Mhm.
Well, and on top of that, like what the young guys are running it, right? They're running this
Yeah.
team. Like, what have they won to deserve that? Like when we talked about, them not getting away with Rodgers. What has Christian Watson done in his career?
Uh-oh.
Oh, there goes
Uh-oh.
Zach. Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Oh, and Trevor's gone too. Oh,
Why did it
I
do
can't hear
that?
anyone. Trevor, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I cannot hear Trevor.
I don't know why this switched over like this though. I have no control over Restream right now.
Trevor,
Okay.
how you doing? No, I can't hear him.
Who's shuffling stuff? It's not me. Anyway, I don't even know what to talk about.
Oh, Trevor's gone. Oh, here we go.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think Restream completely messed up there. So if you're still hearing us, thanks for sticking with us here for a second.
Do you think it's crazy that YouTube had like a couple of years ago, like probably 10 years ago, they started introducing 5-second ads, and then that slowly became 6-second, and that slowly became 10-second, and now we're at 90-second ads. Like nobody even like is throwing a fit about this.
Oh, people threw a fit about it.
Yeah.
Why isn't this like the number one headline of like protests and stuff?
Because nobody can rival them.
You're right. Yeah, there's no point. What are you gonna do? Is boycott Google?
I know. I love YouTube so much, but
Well, I thought you were gonna bring up. Isn't it crazy that YouTube was just down yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah.
It was broken. It's like, okay, what?
Right.
It's like when Twitter goes down, and for some reason, when Twitter was down a couple days ago, you know what everyone did? They kept tweeting that Twitter was down.
I know.
Like, that tells you how bad it's a terrible product right now under Elon, but how good of a site it still is. Like
Oh,
even
yeah.
in its worst state, it's so much better than everything else, man.
The random tweets that you will stumble upon are just, I mean, you can't get it anywhere else. I don't think I can say some of them on air, but like just the best tweets of all time are just like, you're not going to find them anywhere else.
No, it truly is a blessing and a curse that
Yeah.
your thoughts can be immediate on Twitter and everyone can see it immediately. So
Yep.
it's great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic stuff.
I brought it up on Monday, but the John Fance at Big East Spaces, that's where war happens, and it's incredible.
That was good. That was very good. Okay. I think that's enough talk on Bisaccia. Again, I don't think if anyone's telling you the top candidates at the current moment, I think they're just talking out their ass. There were some interesting special teams coaches stepping away this year, but I think it's going to be a young guy, probably. I think it's going to be somebody that we are not talking about. So no need to really project it. And again, whoever comes in, how much of an impact will they have? Probably not much.
And you know what? There's going to be people that, oh, why would they hire this guy? This guy sucks. These guys don't know. People don't know anything about coaching.
Well, I would say the one person that the fan base did not do that to was Rich Bisaccia.
Rich Bisaccia, yep.
So, and then everyone patted themselves on the back after he had a good season, and then we sent death threats as soon as McManus started missing some kicks. So, it is what it is. Okay.
Also, real quick, last thing, McManus allegedly beats women. Why is he not the one getting the threats, man? Like, threats are bad, but
you know why?
Bisaccia hasn't done anything.
Because he brought some stability after we had to sit through 2 years of Anders Carlson. That's why.
That makes up for a lot.
You know, I've learned about this I've realized this in my life. Trevor, you're a Bucks fan, Zach, Badger fan, whatever. My teams that I root for miss a lot of field goals and miss a lot of free throws, and it pisses me off every single time I watch.
And guess what? The Badgers kicker is a horrible person.
Yeah.
Fuck. Get
big
him the hell out of Madison.
Weird guy.
Packers need to bring in Rafael Gaglianone.
Yeah,
wherever he is, he's ready to go. I can guarantee that.
That kick against LSU, that celebration, electric.
All-timer.
Can't get that anywhere else.
If that's the one Badger starter that we like collectively say the Packers finally sign that we go after, I'll get a Gaglianone jersey immediately. Like I'll give it in every color. That would be incredible. He's the greatest. Okay. Let's see if Restream's working well enough. It is very delayed if it is working. Let's talk about the Packers upcoming, departing free agents. There's a bunch of them, and there's some that are going to demand some money as well. So we'll talk about who they should go after to bring back, who they can go after to bring back. Two very different conversations at the current moment, and there's more salary cap manipulation that needs to happen and whatnot. Packers currently sit 22nd overall in terms of cap space, and the current cap space they have is negative $4 million. So they still need to make some cuts in order to even do anything. Let's move our cameras over there. Okay, so first one doesn't really count, but Trayvon Diggs, we talked about it a little bit ago. We signed him for a second. We cut him. I can't imagine he is back in Green Bay. If he is, I imagine it would be a 1-year prove it pretty cheap deal. But there's going to be teams knocking on his door, I would say.
Let him go.
I'm fine with keeping him just because I know we're not going to draft cornerback. But if you're going to at least address the problem, that's great. But like, if you're not going to address the cornerback problem, then you need to bring him back because Nixon ain't doing it.
Right. So all unrestricted free agents, that means they can go talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime once that is, legal to do. Unrestricted free agents, we got Trayvon Diggs, we got Quay Walker, linebacker. We got John Fitzpatrick, tight end. We got Malik Willis, quarterback. He's for sure gone. He's going to get a payday. We got Sean Ryan, interior offensive lineman. We got Nick Neiman, linebacker. Romeo Dobbs, wide receiver. We'll see what happens there. That's a super interesting one. Kingsley Enagbare is an unrestricted free agent. And then Rasheed Walker, obviously our left tackle, unrestricted free agent. The one that is projected to go for the most money is for sure Rasheed Walker right now.
Yeah.
We've been critical of him. He's been okay, right? He's been an okay offensive lineman. And to be honest, an okay starting left tackle will get paid a lot of money just because of where the offensive lines are currently in the NFL. So I imagine he is signed somewhere else to start. And Gutekunst has already started the marketing campaign for Jordan Morgan at left tackle. So he's already
Yep.
saying that we are not going to resign Rashid Walker. Out of those
Feels like a
unrestricted
Bengal
free
in my
agents,
mind.
I know Pittsburgh is heavily going after him, so we'll
Okay.
see about that. Um, yeah, there's some teams with money. We'll see. Out of those unrestricted free agents, is there one that you think is the biggest player we should target to resign?
Well, it sucks when you lose the best quarterback on the team, but right, you're just not
Sure.
going to pay him. By the way, it feels like it feels, and maybe this is a very obvious thing that I'm about to say that maybe everyone's thinking it. Feels like Malik Willis, Romeo Dobbs, and Kingsley Enagbare all end up in Miami.
That's not a bad guess,
Considering Miami just
honestly.
got rid of Tyreek Hill and Bradley Chubb, and they also need a quarterback,
Yeah, and there's a former Packers defensive coordinator who's the head coach there.
and the former president's the GM, whatever it is. But
Yeah,
it
yeah,
it feels like in terms of knowing the Packers, I feel like Quay Walker is probably their number one priority, would be my guess. Whether it's the right move or not, he's a guy who's kind of really turned himself around, I guess, in the eyes of Packers, right? He goes from punching a fan to being a captain and like one of the most loved players on the team.
yeah.
Linebackers always getting that. The quarterback of the defense is always a tough thing. I'm not saying that Quay Walker is Ray Lewis or anything like that, but to have a player that has experience doing that, I think there's a little something there. So I would imagine Quay Walker is probably high on that priority list. Also, I think Sean Ryan. I thought Sean Ryan played fine at center this year. I think they keep him
Hmm.
at center, and I don't know what happens to Elton Jenkins if his better days are beyond him. But I think Sean Ryan's best position was center. I think that's the future of the center position in Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Trevor, what's your
Yeah,
thoughts?
for me, I don't give it really a damn about anybody in the top four. Obviously, because Malik Willis is gone, like there's no point in me even talking about him. But I think he's a great player. Talk about a trade that benefited him. I mean, resurrected his entire
Yeah,
career.
big time.
But to your
Hmm.
point, like Sean Ryan would be nice. Kingsley Enagbare would be nice. Um, but outside of that, like I don't see really any difference makers that are worth it, I should say, right? Like Dobbs is going to get a lot of money. He's not worth that. Quay Walker's going to get money somewhere. I don't think he's worth that, So those two guys, at least for just having depth, are important, especially defensive depth, because we don't know how to identify defensive talent. So it is what it is. So
And of course, we're going to. I mean, you said name one. I'm going to touch on all of them here. But John Fitzpatrick, like, I wonder if there's a little incentive, like he's been in the system. I know he's a locker room guy. They love him. Gutekunst loves him. But just given Tucker Kraft's injury and Luke Musgrave's kind of slow development, like let's just shore up the tight end position with something that we know.
Yeah, Packers will for sure sign one of these veteran tight ends that are, bodies essentially for cheap, I would assume. It sounds like from what I've heard that Romeo Dobbs wants back in Green Bay really bad.
I'm sure.
Um, so I think there's a pretty strong chance he resigns in Green Bay for much cheaper than what he could get elsewhere, which is a bad decision for him. But I do think he is going to probably do that. But yeah, I would assume Quay Walker is the number one target, right? And that's because one, the
we're stupid.
linebacker isn't great. They need the bodies, they need the starter. He's a fast guy. I think Miami will certainly go after him as well, to create one of the better linebacking cores
Yeah.
in the NFL. But a Quay Walker signing is another one of those ego legitimizing signings,
Yeah.
right? Because this is a guy that Gutekunst pounded the table for and went out and got, and then you can say, "Hey, look at this star that is on his second contract. Did he set the rookie record for tackles and blah 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 blah." So all of that, all those accolades goes up the chain to Gutekunst, so that would make a lot of sense to re-sign him. Sean Ryan, it feels like he's going to go back. What I will say, if he does not play center next year, no one's talking about him, but Jacob Monk, I think his first name's Jacob.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I think he's a decent player, and I think he could probably start at center for the Packers, to be completely honest. So if the Packers need to save money, I think they do that. But I do think there's a strong chance we cut Elton Jenkins and sign Sean Ryan.
Yeah.
Probably. There's a couple of players the Packers could cut. One name the Packers fans are floating out there, which is mind-blowing to me, just given how our fan base thinks. A lot of people are saying Josh Jacobs could be a cap casualty. That would... I will just post a 30-second video of me laughing if that's the point, if that happens. But I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see. There's a few players the Packers could cut still and save some money.
Crazy, by the
we'll
way,
see.
to say Josh Jacobs. But
I think you should cut him yesterday, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I think you ride him until his legs don't work anymore.
I don't think he's a good running back for this system. And I think
Okay.
running back, I think paying any running back is a waste of money.
For sure.
Anyone.
This might be bold. Has Josh Jacobs done anything but collapse when we've needed him most, especially this past year? The Bears, big fumble. The Bears in the playoffs, what do you have? At least one fumble in the kickoff, and he didn't do much in that game either. I know hindsight's 2020, right? And he does a lot of good things, but I mean, for the money he's making, dude, you can't be fumbling that football like that.
I will say, I think technically you're probably correct, but it's just a product of being overworked.
Yeah, I
when
think
you need him the most is at the end of the season when he's the most overworked.
Right. I think I'm on a different level here than Josh Jacobs has been our best offensive player the last 3 years. I'm fine giving him the ball.
I think he's been fine. There's no doubt in my mind he's not a scheme fit. He just is.
Which I don't disagree with that.
But where are we going to go? I think you can find a running back. We'll see. It doesn't matter. I don't think they're parting ways with Josh Jacobs.
No, yeah.
I think their running back is right here on the restricted free agent list too. Once we get there,
maybe we'll talk about it. So restricted free agents here for the Packers. We got Zane Anderson. So restricted free agents. Packers will have the opportunity to match an offer here if given to them. Emmanuel Wilson is a restricted free agent. We got Jonathan Ford, defensive lineman, Aaron Mosby, edge, Josh Wild, tight end, Darian Kennard is a tackle, certainly a definite product to come back, I would say. Chris Brooks, another running back, and then Brenton Cox Jr. is also a restricted free agent at edge, and then an exclusive rights restricted free agent here. Essentially, the Packers can re-sign them for the bare minimum, and there's nothing they can do about it. They are our bitch, essentially.
Yep.
And that is Bo Melton, which is, you got to bring him back, in my opinion. Kamal Haddon and Donovan Jennings, who, all in my sentence there, who? I don't know who they are. So, I mean, I don't think they're probably going to be back. But of those restricted free agents, I would say Bo Melton's definitely coming back. If they don't bring him back, that'd be shocking. But of the restricted, Trevor, you were alluding to a running back. Which one of the running backs are you thinking Packers should bring back?
I'm not going to sit here and say that he's better than Josh Jacobs, but I really do like Emmanuel Wilson. And when we kind of talk about Jordan Love versus Malik Willis, one of the things that comes up is the salary, right? I think all of us here probably think Malik Willis is a better quarterback than Jordan Love, but even if they were average, right, the salary difference is big. And for me, again, I agree with you. I don't think Josh Jacobs is leaving, but you talk about a very capable running back too. I think capable in a committee as a running back one. I think he's there, and you can get him for not too much because his age is up there, and I don't think other people are going to want him. I think he's a fine player, and with all that's going on with Marshawn Lloyd, you cannot trust him at all. He's proven himself, right? He's got the most rushing yards in game for the Packers this past year, so I like him, but I can definitely see him going another way and them just drafting him.
He feels like a Viking in my mind.
They always do.
Yeah.
If I'm just pulling this out of the back of my brain, so I'm not sure if the numbers fully match up, but I think I'm correct. Given the years and the time he has logged in the league, I think Emmanuel Wilson has to make a minimum of 1.5 per year, something like that. So I think no matter what, if we sign him for the bare minimum for what the CBA allows, I think he has to see uh, increase in pay. And if that's the case, I just don't know if the Packers have room for that. They almost have to draft a late round running back, just given where the cap is. Again, we are $4 million over.
How do
Just
we?
looking at the cap really quickly. Um, I mean, to be honest, addition by subtraction, we could save a roughly $11 million to flat out cut Rashawn Gary. That would be fun. I don't think it's going to
Do
happen.
it.
Could we try to trade? Could we try to trade him? Maybe. Here's another one. And again, this will never ever happen. But we could save $4.5 million by flat out cutting Aaron Banks. Something to think about. Is it too early to cut ties? Never too early.
Hey, Donovan Jennings, he could probably do the same job, right?
Shit, Manuel Wilson can. Doesn't matter.
We need to
But
figure. We need to figure out how to get Malachi Tony on this team.
No, we
That
don't.
that's what needs to happen.
be
Oh,
honest,
Zach's gone.
again, we'll go
Oh, there he is.
into the players. I disappeared again. What's Restream
Yep.
doing?
We're good.
I'll go into the players later, a different show of terms of cap manipulation. But we brought up Elton Jenkins earlier, and I do think he's gone because Packers will save about $20 million if we just flat out cut him. And because we can hold that over his head, even he will not be on this team next year on the same contract.
Right.
Whether
It's a lot
he
of
may
money.
be, he
Didn't
may
he
be flat
just-
out cut, or we may say, hey, either take a massive pay reduction or you're gone, and he may
Didn't
say
he-
okay.
Didn't he just do a new renegotiation? Elton Jenkins
I can
The-
look.
before
Packers
training
love
camp
to
last year.
Packers. I mean, he moved money, but he didn't really
Yeah.
negotiate anything.
Okay.
But I mean,
Not
David
that
Bakhtiari
matters,
did
but-
that, and then we flat out cut him after we saved all that money. So, Packers love to go to their offensive line to help ease the cap, and then they just fuck him over. So,
Yeah,
it would
I think
be a
the
theme
issue,
fit.
right, when we you cut players, and right, I would say the average fan, when Packers cut a player, oh, that's a good cut because it frees up this much money. It does this. It makes room for this. And I think we've seen in this era that when we free up that money just goes absolutely nowhere. It goes into Aaron Banks. It goes into
Mhm. Nate
it
Hobbs.
goes into Nate Hobbs. It goes into fucking Trayvon, not Trayvon Diggs. It goes into remember. I was bringing stuff. I can't. It pisses me off. If we rank the most things I hate in the entire world, it's when the Packers get rid of Devontae Adams. Like, yeah, we'll bring in a receiver and then bring in Sammy fucking Watkins. Money went into Sammy Watkins on this team.
Mhm.
Watch out, you're getting
Mhm.
dangerously close to saying Gutekunst doesn't know what he's doing. Can't do
I,
that.
and I
know.
like Sammy Watkins. He retweeted me once on Twitter. He's awesome in NCAA 12 or something. He's a great player, but we put money into Sammy Watkins. Say, here you go, Rodgers. Here's your new 18 touchdown guy.
Yeah. It's almost, it's almost like it's an ego thing. It's not really a try to win games thing, right?
And Adams goes on and has what, like 40 touchdowns the next 4 years with three other teams.
Yeah, he's been great. He's been
Incredible.
very, very good. If we just kept Rodgers and Adams, and even if we did everything else exactly the same, we would have been to another NFC championship, I think, at the very least. But we shall see. I don't know.
Would have beat the
Sorry.
fuck out of the Bears, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Bears won the division. That's pretty much a guarantee. But yeah, there's some players that the Packers can cut. There's a lot of players the Packers can't cut. One of the biggest things the Packers want to do this offseason is extending Christian Watson. And to do so, they almost definitely have to give him a increase in
some money.
salary as well. So I think we may be cutting players just to extend players, which again, are we making the team better for now or for in the future with moves like that? I don't know. I do know it's for the future. It's not for now. So we'll see. Packers
it
are
for the
kind of
future?
handcuffed right now, but all I know is you cut Elton Jenkins, and then all of a sudden you at least have options. What did you say?
I said, is it for the future? Because
It's
Extending
not for the
Watson?
present.
right. I'm saying this wrong, but extending Watson is just kick a can down the road, and we have this exact same conversation in 3 years of now we need to move Watson's money around, and we extend Marshawn Lloyd, who is not going to do anything, and we're going to kick that can down the road in 6 years from now. Like it just nothing. It feels like addition by
Treading water?
subtraction, treading water. Yes.
Yeah, I believe that is one of the first terms I said on episode 1 of Lombardi
Yeah.
Sweep. And it's been, we've treaded water
Been
ever
5
since.
years.
Like, so I understand what you're saying. Are we getting better in the future with that move? No, but we will be the same, and that's
Right.
good.
Yeah, just yeah. I mean, we started the show talking about defense coordinator, then I went into special teams coordinator, and went into who we should extend. Like I say, this feels like once a show, but it just we have. I feel like we have the same exact conversations every single time we're on the show.
We
I
do.
know.
Pretty
we
soon
sure
we're gonna get
do.
schizophrenia.
Yeah, and people come in, say, "Can't believe you're saying that. You guys know nothing," and then it happens a year later, and then they're like, "Guys, I knew this. I told you." I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Remember when we
is what it
thought
is.
Remember when he thought Joe Barry would do something after doing jack shit for the Lions when they went 0-16? That was a fun time.
In the Redskins, he ruined that defense, and then Yep. So, I mean, our hit rate is pretty good, but yeah, free agency wise, there isn't a ton here. But unfortunately, the Packers have to make moves, so some of these people will come back on cheap contracts. But that's going to be the theme of the offseason: is cheap and value, right? One thing the Packers can do, I assume they can do it at least. Like Jordan Love has the biggest cap hit. I mean, they've already voided a bunch of shit, I guess. He already has 3 void years on his contract because they've already tried to manipulate the shitty contract once. There's a couple players they can move some money around. I think Micah Parsons they can, and people like that. So while the Packers have negative $4 million right now, don't let that deter you. The salary cap is fake. It's not
Yeah.
real. You can do anything you want if you believe hard enough. So Packers can go and get anybody they want to, and they will have money to spend on some people. Just they will sign budget players, and then we'll say it. We didn't have money. Essentially, is what we're doing.
Yeah, the only team that the cap is real for is the Saints because they fuck it up so
Yes.
bad every single year. That's the only thing that happens. It's
Sean Payton
wild.
fucked it up.
It's wild that like they just never said, you know what? Our division sucks anyways. Let's just take the hit for a year and then be fine. No, they just
I know.
keep going. It's wild.
Sean Payton tried to fuck up the Denver cap too when they got Russell Wilson.
Well, he didn't do that. He inherited Russ.
Oh, I thought he came on and the first thing. No, okay, maybe I'm wrong on that.
He cut him, but he didn't.
Yeah, well,
that wasn't his deal.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm off that. Good cut, by the way.
Great cut.
Yeah.
And again, they took the hit, and look at them now. Like sometimes you just got to take the hit and figure out what you can do.
I've got a question for you guys.
Sure.
Speaking of taking a hit, has anybody's love, any athlete, any person from Wisconsin, has anybody fallen farther from grace than Russell Wilson? I mean, when he was drafted third in the 3rd round, like everybody loved him here. Everybody's like, good
Brett
for
Favre.
him. Okay, yeah, that's true. But even then, like, people still love Brett Favre here.
Well, the funny thing about
I love
Russell
Brett.
Wilson is people
money
just
guy.
hate, is people like Russell Wilson's a good dude. You know, does tons for community and charity. People just hate him because he's doing jumping jacks on a plane.
He's corny.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be friends with him. I acknowledge. Yeah, to your point, I acknowledge he's a good person.
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't want him.
what's the trade-off? You know, do I have to hang out with him? Do I have to
Right.
talk to him? Because I don't want
will
that.
say-
We'll just take the hit.
His Subway commercials, I think, were funny. I did like
With
those.
Danger Witch?
He leaned into it, but I mean, I can't think of a player who like came from Wisconsin. Like we usually love our players till they die, like no matter what they do, and now nobody fucking likes this man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Brett Favre
I think he,
stole money, man, and we still love him.
I mean, Super Bowl. What are you gonna do? But
Eric Bledsoe got a lot of hate.
he did.
That's
He got a
true.
lot of hate.
And I'm an Eric Bledsoe guy. I like the Eric Bledsoe man.
I think Russ gets a little bit too much hate, but I'm not willing to tell people to back off.
Yeah.
You know?
You're-
I'm not gonna.
That's where I'm
Yeah,
at.
I'm not falling on the sword for Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
Correct. Yes.
You're
Yeah.
the silent minority. You're in the crowd, like,
Yeah.
I don't feel enough to speak up.
I have a question. Would you guys ever use a franchise tag? Because I don't think I would ever as a GM.
No, that's a last resort.
I think if I'm using a
pay your
franchise
guys.
kicker, I'm using it like or a franchise tag. I'm using it like on a kicker.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind that. I guess I would use it on a running back. Maybe I'd be okay with that.
Would
Just
you?
I think so. Just because I don't want a running back long term anyway. So if they're performing at the top level, I'll give them the franchise tag a couple times just so I know I'm not hitched to their wagon. Like I'm never going to be in a situation where I have a bad contract with a
Yeah, I
running
guess.
back for next year.
I kind of like the idea of someone being on a contract for the whole career too. That's kind of funny. I know that like the longer you're on, like you get next year, obviously the pay goes up. But that kind of reminds me of Yogi Ferrell when he was with Dallas. He was just got like 15 10-day contracts in a row. Like it's like we don't really want to commit to this guy, but we still kind of like him.
We should bring in what the NHL does. I want to see 10 and 12-year contracts. Like that. Some teams would get
Mahomes got
crazy
one.
with that.
Mahomes
But I
got
want to
one.
see commonplace. Like I want to see offensive line get 10-year
No,
contracts.
I want to see college basketball coaching contracts. Yeah, you have a job for life.
Well, that's basically what they did with Coach K, and we don't like that. So,
Well,
Well,
Bill
here's the
Self,
te-
yeah,
the thing is, teams would love to do that, but you got to get an agent and a player to accept that. And there's no way
Yeah.
that's ever going to happen.
especially in football.
Right? Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't do that. But a team, especially if it's like the Mahomes contract, Chiefs are licking their chops because it's like,
Oh yeah.
we're going to get this guy forever. We can move money around however we want to do with it. And he's Patrick Mahomes. So it's going to be
Jackson
okay.
Churio. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Bill Self's
Unfortunately,
a
everybody
bad
wants more money.
person. We let
Come
him
on.
talk too much.
He's a good basketball coach.
he let Hunter
Sure.
Dickinson come in and do his bullshit for way too long. He had a chance after the first year to tell him goodbye, and he let
He's
it
not
happen.
still in college, is he?
No,
He's gone. Thank God.
Okay, thank God.
No, Bill Self he's a good scumbag coach.
Of the scumbags, I think I agree.
Yeah.
There's a spectrum.
There's like three
He's
archetypes
on the
of college-
spectrum.
Yeah,
If
there's
this was a
definitely a
Sports
spectrum.
podcast, that's what I would call this episode. Bill Self's on the spectrum.
I feel like there's three categories of college basketball coaches. It's like it's the scumbags, it's the old school
ones.
hard nosed beat you up, and then there's the nerds.
Mick Cronin is a scumbag. Fuck that guy.
Mick
Actually,
Cronin's a scumbag, but not a
No.
scumbag.
No,
He's
you know
not a
what?
scumbag. He's just annoying.
We
Yeah.
need a
Little-
fourth category: whiners. Throw him in there.
I like Mick Cronin.
Really?
I do.
Fuck that guy. He sucks. He's the worst.
Okay. We will be back in 2 weeks to talk about, I assume, free agents.
The Brewers.
We'll talk-
Oh.
Never the Brewers. We'll come back in 2 weeks. We'll be talking about team needs, upcoming free agencies, since that will be the week after we come back, I believe. So come back for that, and check out flurrysports.org. We'll have a bunch of Packer stuff on there, I'm sure, as well. See you then.